Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new legal breaking reporting video analysis update. Letitia James, the New York current Attorney General, has appeared in court today and pleaded not guilty to what appears to be mortgage fraud. Now, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. She's letting families stay in the current home that she bought and put a loan out, and now the Trump administration is alleging, keyword alleging, that she bought is renting the home, which is allowed under the mortgage. And they're alleging that it's mortgage fraud. And she has said that she's made a mistake, but that she immediately corrected it, which necessarily doesn't mean that she's guilty. Let's get into this reporting, ladies and gentlemen, by the New York Times. It is read by an automated voice, so we will be taking a look, a read, and a listen. Let's get into it. Before we begin, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you hit the bell icon, click the subscribe button, and follow along for all more legal breaking news that you need to know about. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen.
Letitia James pleads not guilty as battle over Trump-urged prosecution begins. This article is by Jonah E. Bromwich and Devlin Barrett, and read by an automated voice. Letitia James, New York's Attorney General, and a longtime critic of President Trump, pleaded not guilty on Friday to charges lodged by the Trump administration over whether she had misled a bank to get more favorable mortgage terms. Ms. James faces 1 count of bank fraud and 1 count of making a false statement to a financial institution. Appearing before Judge Jamar Walker of Federal District Court in Norfolk, Virginia, Ms. James said, "Not guilty, Judge," to both counts. The hearing for Ms. James, her first court appearance since being indicted this month, was a routine opening procedure in a prosecution that is anything but. Her case was pursued at Mr. Trump's demand over the objections of career prosecutors, and may serve as a bellwether for the president's broader efforts to seek retribution against his perceived enemies. Ms. James's lawyer, Abby D. Lowell, said that he planned to challenge the case against her aggressively. He will seek to persuade Judge Walker that the prosecution is vindictive and selective, and that the indictment failed to properly accuse Ms. James of the crimes with which she was charged. Judge Walker set a tentative trial date for January 26, with pretrial motions and hearings expected in November and December. The judge said that he expected any trial to last 3 to 5 days. "I don't know that there's a lot of complexity here," he said. Lindsay Halligan, an inexperienced prosecutor hastily installed by Mr. Trump as the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, sat silently at the prosecution table. Speaking for the government was Roger Keller, a Missouri prosecutor brought in to work on the case. After a hearing that lasted about 35 minutes, Ms. James was released with no conditions on bail. Outside the court, dozens of protesters chanted, "We stand with Tish." Addressing them, Ms. James declared, "I have this belief in the justice system and the rule of law," adding, "There's no fear." "This is not about me," she added. "This is about all of us and a weaponized justice system." Ms. James stands accused of lying about her purpose in buying a Virginia house in 2020. Prosecutors say that while she said the house would be a secondary residence, she in fact used it as a rental investment property, renting it to a family of 3. But Ms. James's great-niece has lived in the house since 2020 and testified to a Norfolk grand jury that she does not pay rent. Ms. James has reported only $1,350 in rent from the property on her tax forms. Career prosecutors in the Eastern District of Virginia had concluded the evidence did not support criminal charges, but the president abruptly forced out the U.S. attorney who had been overseeing the office and replaced him with Ms. Halligan. Ms. Halligan quickly secured a grand jury indictment against Ms. James, part of a broader campaign by the president to use the Justice Department to pursue his longtime antagonists. Last month, Ms. Halligan also obtained false statement and obstruction charges against James B. Comey, the former FBI director, after Mr. Trump had publicly implored Justice Department officials to charge Ms. James and Mr. Comey with crimes, calling them guilty as hell. Ms. James won a civil fraud case against Mr. Trump in New York, accusing him of exaggerating his net worth. On the eve of her court appearance, Mr. Lowell told the court that he intended to challenge the legality of Ms. Halligan's appointment, as was already done by Mr. Comey's legal team. During the arraignment on Friday, Judge Walker said that he would transfer that motion to the judge already considering Mr. Comey's. In a separate brief, Mr. Lowell asked the judge overseeing her case to warn Ms. Halligan about making any extrajudicial comments about the case. This month, Ms. Halligan sent a series of argumentative texts to a reporter at Lawfare, a national security website. In the texts, Ms. Halligan pushed back against some descriptions of the evidence, arguing that her case is stronger than some of the reporting would suggest. Mr. Lowell said that the statements run afoul of and violate the federal rules of criminal procedure, the Code of Federal Regulations, this court's local rules, various rules of ethical and professional responsibility, and DOJ's Justice Manual. He urged the judge to intervene to prevent any further disclosures by government attorneys and agents of investigative and case materials and statements to the media and public. When Judge Walker asked Mr. Keller how the government would like to proceed on that motion, the prosecutor pointed out that Ms. James has also been active on the internet. That prompted Mr. Lowell to tell the judge that Ms. James had the right to defend herself to the public. The judge asked prosecutors to respond to Mr. Lowell's brief in their own written filing. Judge Walker conducted the hearing in a brisk, businesslike manner, commenting multiple times on how things were normally done in his district. Despite the extraordinary nature of the case, he signaled that proceedings would be conducted as normally as possible. Toward the end of the hearing, he asked the lawyers, none of whom typically practice in Norfolk, to familiarize themselves with the rules in his courtroom.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, since she's done this, by also this month recently sending texts to somebody via Lawfare, she is putting her law license at risk. She will eventually, maybe not now, but eventually, be subject to getting her law license either suspended or revoked, or getting disbarred. Preferably, I'd prefer she get disbarred, especially for life, for this illegal bullshit, prosecution. It's especially illegal because of it being brought in demands of Donald J. Trump. Go figure. Which is not allowed. And I applaud the attorneys at the Eastern District of Virginia prosecutor's office for not bringing charges, because this case is just gonna fall apart, both with James Comey and Letitia James. This isn't gonna go as planned as these guys want it to be. This is gonna go how the judges in the courtroom want it to be. Ladies and gentlemen, if you did enjoy this reporting, please like, comment, subscribe, and share for more. Please hit the bell icon so you're always up to date on all the things legal breaking reporting wise on the side of politics. And please subscribe for more, and I will look forward to talking to you guys in my next legal breaking reporting video analysis update.